Welcome to the Wild Wild West for our first major of the year. Maybe only major, I don't know. It's not really a major, I'm just calling it a major because it's a multiple day event. So any multiple day event we play this year, we're calling a major. We are headed to the Wyoming Open in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And it's going to be a fun one. 6,100 yard course, so it's going to be tight and tricky probably because 6,100 is, from the tips, is not that much for a state open. So I got a feeling it's going to be pretty interesting. We're going to be at 6,000 feet of elevation. We'll talk a little bit about what that's going to do to yardages later, at a later date. But yeah, I'm excited to play. Today we're literally driving to our tee time. And I've never seen the course before, but I've created a yardage book based on GolfLogix and Google Earth, and hopefully that helps me out a little bit. Like we said in a previous episode, it's just not financially possible for us to play practice rounds at every event. So we are balling on a budget. So first time I see the course will be when I step up to the first tee today. And we'll see how it goes. So, we're back from the Wyoming Open, and I want this video to be a little bit more like full swing style documentary. So we're going to play around with that and see what this looks like. It was an interesting start to the day. I'd never played this golf course before. I've only been to Wyoming once, and so I had really no idea what to expect. But it was off to an odd start. We got to the course, well, not the course we were playing, but the course we had to use the range of. Because the course that we were playing, their range was closed for parking for the tournament. So it was already a little bit weird. We had to drive 10 minutes away to a different course for range balls to warm up with. I walked inside to get range balls and was told I had to pay for them. And I was like, I'm in the tournament. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's odd. So I paid an entry fee and don't get range balls to warm up with. So a little bit weird, but not as weird as how they handed them out. They were in Walmart plastic bags, which was definitely a first for me. Hey, look, I'm not hating on that at all. I think it was hilarious. And it definitely kind of set a lighthearted mood for the day for me. But I wasn't expecting that, just to be handed a Walmart plastic bag full of golf balls for the tournament. I was hitting some really good shots. The wind was starting to pick up, though, so I was a little bit worried about how that was going to affect the day. Then we went back to the course that we were actually playing at from the course we were practicing at, and got used to the green speeds, which were lightning fast, much quicker than I'm used to here in Georgia because they're bent greens out there, and so quite a bit more speed, maybe the fastest greens I've ever played on. But nonetheless, stepped up to the first tee, wind in the face on the par 5, out of bounds left. The one thing you can't do is go left. And I pulled it straight left into the trees. Got very fortunate that I stayed in play. I was able to find it and hack it out into the fairway. But nonetheless, 2-putted for par. Took a breath, moved on to the next hole. And this is where I really started to settle into the round. I hit a couple good shots here on the next 3 holes, but really I hit some incredible putts. On the second hole of the day, we started on the back 9, so at the second hole of the day, I made probably like a 18-20 footer for birdie, and that got me to 1 under through 2. Go on to hole 3, I make like a 20-25 footer for birdie, and to be fair, this one was probably off the green if it didn't hit the hole, but it was a great start. And then we go up to another par 5. There's only 2 par 5s on this course, and so I'm thinking this is a good opportunity for birdie, get 3 in a row here, and I do just that. I go driver 9-iron, chip up, make the birdie putt pretty easily. So at this point, I'm 3 under through 4, and I'm feeling pretty good, but I'm also terrified because I've never had this hot of a start. I've never broken 70 in my life, and so to be 3 under through 4 on a par 70, I'm starting to think, hey, this could be the day. And at this point, I'm a little bit wary of making a mistake. Make a couple of pars, give one back on a difficult par 3, But overall, we make the turn at -2. And at this point, I've got 2 drivable par 4s coming up, and they're drivable with less than driver. Again, this is one of those things that, like with the altitude, it was so hard to adjust to, because I'm looking at a 325-yard par 4 and hitting a 3-wood onto the green is kind of mind-boggling to me. Normally my 3-wood carry is like 270, 275 maybe. And so to carry it nearly 300, it was pretty wild. 2-putt for birdie on hole 1. Unfortunately, didn't get up and down for birdie on hole 2. And then we move on to hole 3 where we make a good par. At this point, we're still riding high. We're a couple under. And the one thing I got to say about this course is 6,100 yards from the tips made for a very interesting day. Some of these holes were kind of quirky, that's for sure. Now, the other thing that was an issue here on day 1 and would go on to be an issue on day 2 as well was the pace of play. Unfortunately, really, really bad. This was the biggest tournament I've ever played in, both in status and in number of competitors. There was 140 players, I think, total. And so that was quite a lot of people on the golf course all at once, meaning that at times it was pretty slow. And so one of those times that was quite unfortunate was hole 5. And we were waiting on this tee for a long time, and it's a drivable par 4, but it's quite difficult, and you don't really have much room to miss. And so just getting cold was tough, getting a little cold and a little stiff. We waited for probably 20 minutes on this tee. And I yanked one left into the hazard, was able to actually find it and play it. And I did give myself a 7-ish foot par putt. So all in all, it really wasn't the tee shot that hurt me. It was 3-putting from 7 feet that hurt me. And this was surprising. I very rarely 3-putt. And to 3-putt from so close was devastating. To go from what would have been an incredible par save to double bogey and now 1 under with just a couple holes to play was shocking. But one thing that I've been really trying to do in recent weeks is improve my bounce back ability. I have very rarely in the past been good at making a birdie after making a bogey. Usually it's the other way around, and I'm pretty sure we can probably all relate to that, giving one back immediately after a birdie. But I'm trying to go the other way. I'm trying to go bogey, birdie. And that's exactly what happened here on hole 6. Hit a great drive, just absolutely laced it, probably 40 yards from the green. Chipped up to, I think 15 feet or so, and then made the putt for birdie, which felt really good to get me back to 2 under. So keep in mind, I'm in a course I've never played in my life. I've never broken 70, and it's the biggest tournament of my career, and we're sitting 2 under with 3 to play. On a long par 3, hole 7, which was hole 16 for us, but hole 7 on the course. And long par 3s are my nemesis. And unfortunately, that was the case here again. Missed it right after a long wait on the tee. Poor chip and a 2-putt for bogey. So now 1 under with 2 to play. Keep in mind, par 70, 1 under still breaks 70, still shoots 69. And all I'm thinking at this point is just hold on for dear life. Hole 17, which was hole 8 on the course, probably exemplified how weird this course was the best. Incredibly narrow, incredibly tight hole with a giant tree right in the middle of the fairway. And not like in the middle of the fairway, but like at the start of the fairway. So you had to hit your shot over this tree. It was about 200 yards out from the tee. So it made it tough to lay up because you had to clear the tree at 200 yards, and the entire hole was probably 310. So the layup area was almost non-existent. So it kind of forced you into going for what was a really tight green, and any other circumstance I would not go for. But I hit 3-wood right into the trees. Very, very fortunately got an amazing break. Had a perfect line through the trees to the flag. Hit the dead perfect shot I wanted. And then this is something that I noticed happening time and time again. I got a huge bounce. The ground is just rock hard out there in Wyoming and Colorado. It's just a desert. And I landed this well short of the green, exactly where I wanted to, and it bounced nearly 40 feet past the pin. I followed that up with a really poor putt, leaving myself probably 6-7 feet to save par. At this point, I know it's on the line, breaking 70 for the first time, trying to make the cut, step up and actually drain it. And I part of me couldn't believe it. I was like, that actually went in. So we get to the most difficult green on the course, the short par 3 ninth. And at this point, I'm looking great. 1 under, just get down in 3 and get the heck out of here. 150 yards, I take out my 50 degree, and this green is incredibly sloped towards us. Like questionably legal. I don't know how they had a pinnable location on this green. Hit my 50 degree wedge and almost landed pin high, but it spun back quite a bit, giving me a 25-foot putt for birdie. And at this point, I'm thinking just leave it short of the pin, have an uphill tap in, and move on with your life. And that's exactly what happened. Left it a little short, 2-footer up the hill to solidify the 69, and I was shaking. I was terrified of this stupid little 2-foot putt. Just standing over it, thinking, don't do what I did on 5 or 6 or whatever hole that was. I 3-putted from 7 feet. That was in the back of my mind. But I stepped up and put it in the back. And honestly, at that moment, I was excited, but I was also just relieved. So I didn't hit the Tiger fist pump or anything, but such a relief to actually have broken 70. It'd be nice to break 60. Such a relief to have actually broken 70 for the first time. And I think this marks an absolutely monumental step in our journey. Breaking 70 is next level. It's huge. Every time I look at any tour, that line between making the cut, making a living, and not making it is around 69. If you can break 70, you've got a chance at making a career out of it. So this is something I knew I could do for a long time before this, and just hadn't been able to do. For whatever reason, whatever circumstance, I couldn't get it done before, and it was mostly a mental block. So having that mental block removed by finally doing it feels really, really good. And we can argue all you want in the comments about whether or not a 69 actually counts if it's on this par 70 course. To me, it starts with a 6, so I'm counting it, and you can have your opinion, that's fine. It's not going to change mine. 69 counts, even if it's on a par 70. And I feel really, really good having done that at a place I'd never seen the course before. I'd never played golf before, at really high elevation that I did not have the experience with, on greens that were completely unfamiliar to what I'm normally playing on. So very proud of that round. And sitting in the car on day 1, taking my shoes off, I'm feeling pretty good about where we're going into day 2 and how we're looking to make the cut. Just absolutely stoked. Great day, had a lot of fun. That was my number 1 goal today, was have fun. We did that. Number 1 goal for this tournament was to make the cut. We are guessing the cut line is going to be somewhere around even, so it looks like we're headed into tomorrow, day 2, at a good spot. Hopefully we get a little bit lower and secure our place on Sunday, and give you a reason to keep watching these videos. So we'll see you either later tonight, tomorrow, I don't know. We'll find out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Do that, please. That'd be great. I do also want to thank so many people that made this possible. First and foremost, Kat, thank you very much for taking your car out to Colorado, for having friends we could stay with, for supporting me, for taking time off work to watch me play golf, for filming all this video.
And agreeing to marry you.
And agreeing to marry me. Yeah, big thanks on that. That's, wow, yeah, honestly. I was going to say that in the video. I was going to say thanks for agreeing to marry me, but I thought you'd be like, that's weird to say.
Oh, that's funny. And I went and made the joke.
Yeah. Big thank you as well to Trevor Smith. I could not have played this tournament without the work that we're doing physically on my routine, my recovery, and building some strength and resiliency in my body. because I mean, I've had experience doing this before, right? Like I've been on road trips before, and the day after a road trip is usually a complete recovery day, maybe the several days after. I mean, I've been on road trips where I don't recover for weeks because my back is in such bad shape, having driven across the country. And this time was different. I've been working with Trevor for a month or two, and I played golf the next day. We got there Sunday night. I played Monday morning and shot 71 at the old course in Loveland, and probably should have shot 65, honestly. But I doubled a few holes coming in because I didn't understand the altitude. But anyway, that doesn't happen without Trevor. So massive thank you for Trevor and everything he's helped me with. Because really, my body could not withstand this last year at this time. Big thanks to all the support as well, both in Colorado and back here. Everybody at Crosswinds, thanks for helping make this happen, and just giving me the opportunity to have the time to go out here and play this event. And obviously, massive thank you to everybody out there in the gallery, you guys watching this video. If you haven't already, subscribe, join the gallery. It's really just starting to get good, guys. I'm so excited and very, very happy to have you along for the ride. Very thankful to have such honestly, a huge group of support. I mean, I'm at 400 and whatever subscribers and 6,000 or so on TikTok. Like, that is massive to me. If 10 people watched my videos, it would blow me away. So just to have so many people watching and commenting and sending me messages, it means a lot. And I know at the end of the day, you guys really, really do care about this journey, and I hope that you really do see a lot of yourself in this and can learn something from it, but I hope it's also entertaining. So with that being said, thank you very much. I will see you in the next episode for round 2, where we do our best to make the cut. You got a favorite part? Oh, let me, here, take the mic. I'm going to make the camera wider. What was your favorite part of the tournament? Well, not just the tournament, I guess the trip.
The trip?
Yeah.
Well, it was the tournament. It was watching you shoot 69.
Oh, that's a wrap.
No, it was getting engaged.
Getting engaged?
It was getting engaged.
Yeah, that was a close second. Are you happily engaged?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how this is going to work into the video. But this is supposed to be more like a full swing style. So I wanted it to be a little more personal. We're engaged. Perfect.
Mrs. Ben Utah Golf in the making.